Live now, boys. The following broadcast is a copyrighted presentation of the DHN Media Group. Any non-personal retransmission of this broadcast without the express written consent of the DHN Media Group is hereby prohibited. Delaware Hockey Night Radio welcomes the Division I Blue Hens to the airwaves. Preseason action against the Philadelphia Junior Flyers of the Eastern Hockey League. And it's here on both DHN Radio and DHN TV. Welcome in one and all to Delaware Hockey Night Radio and Delaware Hockey Night TV. Preseason action from Fred Rust Arena on the campus of the University of Delaware here on this Friday evening as the University of Delaware Blue Hens Division I team takes on the Philadelphia Junior Flyers of the EHL. Hi everybody, James Witherite joining you from high atop the stands here at Fred Rust Arena, joined by color commentator Bob Thomas. It's been a while, Bob. Missed you this summer.
Yeah, it was a long summer.
Summer travels, you were up in Maine in the Pine Tree State for a few weeks on holiday, and
it's great.
Getting the hockey blood going again.
Got my fall weather started early.
Nothing wrong with that. We're getting hockey season started early. Still technically summer for another day and a half, but the Division I University of Delaware Blue Hens getting things going with preseason action here. They'll be in action, of course, next week, starting their regular season against Penn State Berks, and we'll be here for every Delaware home game this season, both on Delaware Hockey Night Radio and Delaware Hockey Night TV new this season. And very thrilled to have all of you on board with us. So we were talking about the game a little bit earlier. Tune up for the D1 team, but the Philadelphia Junior Flyers, no slouches in their own right. But the thing that we have to consider here too is a lot of these University of Delaware players did spend time in the Tier 3 junior ranks, so they've been there, done that, and that's something to take into consideration here in tonight's game.
Yeah, looking over the Delaware roster, it's a lot of guys. Just about everyone I was looking at had junior experience.
Certainly, and they're going to roll through everybody here, except for Cam Turkowski, the lone scratch for Delaware here this evening. It is a preseason game, so everybody's going to get 2 periods of ice time. We'll see all 3 goalies in action. We'll see all 3 Junior Flyers goalies in action, too. And they start their regular season here this weekend, I believe, against Team Maryland, as confirmed by Broadway Joe Sindoni, who's handling the videography duties tonight. So thanks to Joe hanging out with us behind the scenes here on this Friday evening. We're going to take a break. When we come back, it will be the Junior Flyers and the Blue Hens preseason action here on Delaware Hockey Night Radio and TV. Thanks for joining us at DEHockeyNight.com.
Just to gift those two.
Yeah, Team Maryland, Sunday and Monday.
Welcome back into Delaware Hockey Night Radio and DHN TV, streaming live via YouTube. Preseason action from Fred Rust Arena. And there's a look at the barn here in Newark, Delaware, live through the Joe Sindoni camera. As the Junior Flyers from Philadelphia of the Eastern Hockey League will prove the adversary to the Delaware Blue Hens here in this preseason matchup. The Junior Flyers kicking off their regular season 2 on Sunday and Monday. A two-game set against Team Maryland. Of course, you can follow along with the Junior Flyers through the course of the season via all of their social media outlets at EHLJR Flyers, and of course visit them on the World Wide Web at jrflyers.org. As far as the Delaware Blue Hens are concerned, udelhockey.com, UD Hockey on Twitter, and we here at Delaware Hockey Night, proud media partners of the University of Delaware Blue Hens. Our third season with the Division II team, our first season with the Division I team. You can find us at dehockeynight.com and also on Facebook and Twitter at DEHockeyNight. Teams about to take the ice for this Friday night tilt at Fred Rust Arena. The Philadelphia Junior Flyers stepping onto the ice right now in their away white kits. Junior Flyers down the front diagonally. Orange numbers on the back and sleeves. Black yoke, black pants, black buckets. They'll travel right to left here in period number 1, and they'll be backstopped by Sean Dynan, one of a handful of 99s on this team. The Delaware Blue Hens, decked out in head-to-toe blue, taken to the ice here at Fred Rust Arena as we speak. Gold numbers in the back and sleeves. The Delaware Blue Hen emblazoned on the front. They'll travel from left to right, backstopped by Chris Ponticello, the senior, here in period number 1. And both teams will give all 3 goalies a period of action here this evening. And without further ado, let's turn things over to Rink Public Address announcer Bill Williams for the opening introductions.
Well, folks, as you can probably tell, this isn't the smooth voice of James. He's on the other side of the rink doing the national anthem for us, and technical difficulties prevented him from doing it up here. But he's on his way. I promise you, he's flying. This should be a great tune-up game for both teams. A great one last chance for all these players to prove to their coaches their spot. So it's not going to be one of these take-it-easy games. You're going to see a lot of hard work, I'm sure, from both teams. Again, they get a chance to show the coach what they can do one more time before both teams hit their regular season.
And we are off and running here at Fred Rust Arena. Junior Flyers on the attack to get things going. Here comes DeFerris up the right side, out of his own zone. Gains at the right wing boards, crosses through the slot. Loose puck. And we've got ourselves a stoppage as the net comes off the moorings. 37 seconds in.
James, you look like you're in pretty good shape. You're not huffing and puffing going up and down the steps.
Oh, that's all that vocal training, Bob.
Well, I'll tell you, you got over it quick too.
Second line on for Delaware, but Ward carries it out from the Junior Flyer zone. Drop pass back to his own blue line, and Tyson cross ice flips it to Alex Burnett. Chipped into the Delaware zone to the far corner where Jack Zibber, junior defenseman, chases it down. Unable to clear up ahead. Who was that? That was Dominic Guido, I believe. And we've got a face-off coming up in the Delaware zone. Here with just over a minute elapsed at Fred Rust Arena. Another stoppage as we get some of these early season kinks worked out. Another puck out of play as Delaware's advance was foiled by the rafters, and the ensuing face-off will come just above the Philadelphia blue line. Mike Niski getting his first shift in. Across from Billy McDevitt of Philadelphia. Guido back deep in his own zone, slams it off the far boards. Turned back the other way by Riley Donor. Nearly was cleared out by Niski, and in fact the linesman says it was cleared out, and Philadelphia's re-entry will be called back offside. Captains for the Junior Flyers this season, co-captains in Shane Ward and Billy McDevitt. Face-off outside. The Delaware blue line, thrown in by Valdez from the left point, as he was fed the puck by McEwen, caught by Ponticello, and another stoppage with 18:20 to go. Here in period number one, fresh legs coming on for both sides. Play continuing. The near dot of the Delaware zone, and here they come. Here's Colin Emmerich up the right side to try to get past Brown. Lost the puck mid-zone, chases it down, but he's double-teamed in the near corner, Emmerich is. Gets a shove from Brown. There to his aid, Mike Redgate keeps the momentum going for the boys in blue. Emmerich couldn't muscle through traffic. Andrew Hipp takes it away from him. Crosses through up the center, trying to split Delaware defenders. His stick was lifted by Tommy Cascone. They battle for the puck in behind. It's kicked out to the right point, and Justin Brown across near side. And number 66, whom we did not have in the early go of it. We'll try to identify that player for you here momentarily, and we've got our first penalty of the night. Tommy Cascone coming off for a hook. At 2:15. And the Hens on the penalty kill, working hard in their zone. Docking, unable to clear it. Justin Brown keeps it in at the left point. Now it's contested, chipped up in the air. Chased by Docking, but Andrew Hipp recovers for Philadelphia at his own blue line. Under forechecking pressure from the junior Ethan Docking. Hipp is forced to retreat behind his own goal. And now up the left side comes Brown. Back to hip it comes. Nearly overshot Brown in the pass out of his own zone near side. Across to the far side it goes. And Colby Walters brings it into a 2-on-3 up the middle. He's checked off his feet. Loose puck in the low slot. Corralled by Docking. He tried to clear, but Brown kept it in at the right point across to Donor near side. Steps up to the dot. Lets one rip from 25 feet. Squeezing off the 5-hole, Ponticello directs the puck to the far side with that save. Battle for it. It's loose in the far corner. Harrison Chuma bats it down for Delaware. And here up the middle comes Docking through neutral ice across the Blue Hen logo, but he lost it at center red. And Riley Donor chases back deep into Philadelphia territory with half the penalty to Tommy Cascone complete. 3.5 minutes gone here in the game, and still no score to be had.
You know, James, watching the junior Flyers, one thing that it looks like they have a real good advantage on is a lot of these kids played a long time together. So you can see where they're working real tight. They're making great passes, and they just read off of each other real well.
And that's one of those things, too, that the Delaware side, still being young in the season, half of the guys have that chemistry already. I mean, looking at Guido, Niski, Mazzella, Niski and Mazzella have that built-in chemistry, but a lot of these guys are still trying to feel each other out, learn their tendencies, and that's something that takes months, sometimes years to do.
Yeah, you can say with Delaware, it changes every year because of the class.
McDevitt with it at the near half wall. After Philadelphia regained the zone, closing seconds, the power play, slapper Donor. That was a one-timer center point, but it sailed wide to the left of the cage. McDevitt battles on for it directly below the goal mouth, and Kevin Felice is able to wind up and clear as the penalty to Tommy Cascone expires. 4.5 gone here in the first period, and there is no score. Back in come the junior Flyers. Up the middle was McEwen. Circling behind the cage, Billy McDevitt. After receiving the feed, couldn't jam it in on the doorstep. The rebound is handled by Jack Zimmer deep in his zone, but under heavy forechecking pressure is he. Zimmer carries it up the middle, lofts it in from over center red, and this puck is caught by netminder Aaron Hansson, and he hangs on to force the stoppage at the 4:57 mark of the first period, a scoreless one, and Steve Capriotti will have the face-off at the far circle. Programmed as number 5 was Michael Chris. He's wearing number 66 for Philadelphia. As passed along to us by Broadway Joe Sindoni, who handles all number of media relations for the Philadelphia Junior Flyers and does a great job, and he's here with us tonight behind the scenes. Joe, can't thank you enough, and we'll hear from you a little bit during the intermissions. Philadelphia back on the offensive. Gabriel checked to his knees, center point, able to unload the puck, but right into a 2-on-2 battle in the far corner. Delaware is able to escape pressure. Here comes Ryan Wagner, the first we have seen of him in Delaware blue and gold. He got to center red near side before dumping and chasing, and that will enable some fresh legs to get on for the Blue Hens as we near the 6-minute mark of the first period of play. Jacob Tudan leaves it back to Brown, to his D partner Andrew Hipp. Back it comes to Tudan. He chases down a loose puck to center with Blue Hens swarming it around him from either side. Puck thrown in from 25 feet, caught by Ponticello. I believe it was Polig with the shot from the right side, and indeed it was. Face-off brings it out of stoppage, or the save brings it out of stoppage in play, I should say. We've still got our off-season rust to get rid of, don't we, Bob?
You bet.
6 months without hockey. It's hard to get back in the rhythm, and bag skates only help a commentator so much. Martino studies it just shy of center red near his side. Stepping up to pressure him is Guido. He gets it ahead to Tudan, who caroms it in behind the Delaware goal. But there's Mike Patterson for the Hens, unable to clear it. He'll have to carry it out. As stepping up to apply pressure on him is Shyler Dillon. Patterson carries it on through as far as red before feeding to Mazzella. He entered up the right side, let one go from the half wall. Stick save by Hansson, and a follow-up chance came from Niski. Mazzella on the doorstep couldn't finish what Niski started. Puck ends up at the far half wall. It's loose now behind the cage. Devin Jenny able to recover it for the Delaware Blue. to Mazzella, couldn't wrap it around from behind. Trying to jam it in left corner, unable to do so. DeFerris cycles it to Good, back to Good at the right point, couldn't hold the zone. Under pressure from Walters, he chases back to his own blue line to reset and regroup. But here comes Mike Niski, cross ice outlet pass, up the middle to DeFerris. Shot, score! Jake DeFerris gets that one in. Off the Niski feed. And at the 7:34 mark, it's 1-0 Delaware.
That was big, James, because for the first 7 minutes, it was all Flyers. And Delaware took advantage of a 2-on-1 there, and great shot.
2-on-1, great shot. Jake DeFerris on the doorstep to receive that headman pass. I think it was a headman pass from Mike Niski. Maybe a shot attempt, I don't know, but it really developed nicely. Let's go to Bill. And that's exactly how it goes down officially, Bob. But DeFerris flubbed that cross-ice pass just inside his blue line, drew Good back into the neutral zone, so a dump and chase the result. Stretch pass to McDevitt the other way. He's taken off his feet by Chuma right after gaining the Delaware blue line near his side. Lost the puck. Colin Emmerich comes away with it. Cross-ice. Overshot Jack Zimmer trying to connect with him just shy of the Philadelphia blue line. And recovering that loose biscuit is Andrew Hipp for the boys in white, black, and orange. We're nearing the halfway point of the first period, and Delaware, thanks to that Jake DeFerris goal, jumped out to a 1-0 lead over Philadelphia. Battle for a loose puck in behind. Emmerich's able to get it to Felice net front. That battle originated in the far corner of the Philadelphia zone, and now emerging with the biscuit, Jonathan Gabriel, under forechecking pressure, is unable to work it free. So back it comes to Hipp. Across to Justin Brown, cross-ice pass, mishandled by Gabriel. He resets. Emmerich's got time. Now to step up and put the pressure on. Philadelphia is going to have to hurry up to gain the zone, and they do. Cross-ice pass now to Gabriel up the left side. He walks it into the dot. Pressure coming in. Loose puck in front of the cage. Burnett can't jam it in net front. Stealing the near corner was Ponticello. And the puck is cleared by Mike Redgate of the Blue Hens.
You know, I'm impressed with this young man, Hipp. He's got some great playmaking skills as a defenseman. He gets the puck moving. They really look to him a lot.
He reminds me a lot of you, Bob, the stay-at-home, old-school, play-reading kind of defenseman. I don't know if he watches as much tape as you there on the doorstep. Ostrander fed a centering pass, couldn't connect on the doorstep. Rebound to Kevin Felice near side. He can't work it across ice. Redgate drawn back to his own blue line near side to get the momentum going from left to right again. But yeah, Andrew Hipp absolutely reads the play really well, and he's been able to quarterback the Philadelphia Junior Flyers attack pretty well so far in the first half of the first period.
He definitely thinks pass first. He gets that headman pass going really quick.
And a pass more often than not moves the puck a lot faster than carrying it, so if you can get that extra half second, full second, that's often enough. Icing waved off here by linesman Brad Howington. He shares the line duties with Steve Capriotti, the reason I'm an official actually, between all the Delaware Hockey Night Radio and TV commitments, and our referees tonight are Johnny Poling and Brent Kendall. So we're 11 minutes in nearly here at Fred Rust Arena. Philadelphia trailing the Delaware Blue Hens 1-0. 2-on-3 this attack. Here comes Jake Nema, the product of the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knights, also of the EHL. Drove right into traffic at the far corner, ultimately lost the puck. Shyler Dillon's unable to clear it for the Flyers. He's able to work it free, though, to Martino, back across behind the cage. Tyson kept in behind the net. And in trying to carry it back near side, he sends the puck into the protective netting behind the Philadelphia goal and out of play with 8 minutes and 52 seconds to go in this opening period.
You know, James, just like I was saying while you were running your marathon, I was saying that these guys, this is one last chance for these guys to, you know, really get a good look by the coaches, especially for the Delaware roster right now. There's a massive line of players up there.
it's really a matter of, and you were alluding to this too, who's going to get the playing time. I don't think we're going to see the roster really trimmed down. It's pretty much set. However, that being said, players are still battling for those spots in the third and fourth lines primarily. The first two pretty much are set, but you're going to see a lot of players battling for the bottom 6 slots and that third defensive pair. Shot from long range, good center point. Stick save by Aiden Hanson, met him at the other side, directed the puck to the far side. Back it comes to DeFerris. In front to Niski. Throws it through the slot. Checked off his feet was Ostrander, and here we go. Valdez, and that was Dominic Guido. Niski has to come in and play peacemaker. Things getting a little heated, and it's only preseason, boys. 8 minutes to go in the first period. There's Shyler Dillon. Back in the Delaware zone. Pass across to McEwen. Broken up by Good. He carries it through neutral ice, crossing to the near boards. Harrison Good tries to throw one in net front, but he catches the wrong side of the cage, and Justin Brown's able to knock it free to Balas near side. Philippe Balas double-teamed on his way through neutral ice up the left wing boards, forced to dump and chase. Ponticello out of the cage, clears it to the far side, kept in at that point by Justin Brown. Thrown in close, centering pass, McEwen. Ponticello got a piece of that from right on the welcome mat. Centered back again to McEwen. Checked off the puck at the right dot. A little extracurriculars. And a cross check to the chest of McEwen from Harrison Chuma. Calm it down, boys. We've got a lot of season to go. Heck, it hasn't even begun.
Well, at this rate, James, the third period is going to get real interesting.
Absolutely. Slashing the call against Chuma at 12:42. So Delaware is going to go to the PK. And McEwen got something too, actually. So we're going to be 4-on-4 here. We'll have to listen into Bill Williams for the ruling on the penalties as they shake out. 4-on-4 action tends to favor Delaware since they're used to playing on this international size sheet of ice. They've got a lot more space to work with. They tend to be a fast team. And I don't know how much time the Philadelphia Junior Flyers play on the international ice. Their home barn at Iceline is the standard 200 by 85, and just a gorgeous facility that is, I might add. So 30 seconds into the 4-on-4, Delaware pinned in their zone. Jack Zimmer works it up ahead to Docking, but he can't clear the zone as he gets pummeled by Tyson at the left point. Puck sails loose as a result. Devin Jenny brings it up the right side to Bill. I thought the jousting matches around here were Arundel Mills, Bob.
You know, it's funny because there's no love lost between these two teams.
Absolutely not. So much for this being billed a friendly between the Philadelphia Junior Flyers and the Delaware Blue Hens. They all came to play, did they not?
Yeah, I mean, if you call this a friendly, I'd hate to see the hatred game.
Ain't that the truth? So offside against Delaware brings the face-off outside the Philadelphia blue line. And the Hens will control this one. Good back to his own blue line. More deliberately sets up the offense. Pass back to Felice over the center logo. Was bothered by Billy McDevitt. Brought back in, but McDevitt in a 2-on-3. Checked off his feet behind the cage was Philippe Balas, the right winger. In that top combination for the Junior Flyers, here's a 2-on-2 the other way. Good. Off his feet at the top of the right circle. The desperation shot turned aside by Hanson. Battle for it in the far corner. Jandoli extracts the puck. Works it in close. Good. Couldn't redirect it on the doorstep. Lunging to make contact and send it back into the blue paint of Philadelphia. And they'll settle it down with 5.5 minutes to go in the first period. Riley Donor taking his time to set up Matthew Valdez. Cross-ice pass to Dillon. Working through neutral ice, he gains the Delaware blue line right side, but faces resistance from Mike Patterson as the coincidental liners to Chuma and McEwen expire. 5 to go here in the first. 1-0 Delaware with the lead. And Delaware with a stretch pass ahead to Jandoli. He is ruled offside, much to the dismay of the Delaware bench with exactly 5 minutes to go. That's a hard one to judge. Puck in the air at one side. Jandoli coming through up the near boards. And with this being an offside pass, it goes back to where it originated, which would be deep in the Delaware zone.
That was close, James.
It really was, but I'm not going to argue with Brad Howington on that one, nor would I argue with Steve Capriotti, two very capable linesmen here with Poling and Kendall in the bands. And they've kept the temperature of this game pretty well under control.
Yeah, James, you made a really good point about the size of this rink.
Centering pass from Nima to Ostrander, denied on the doorstep is he. Puck is loose, now it's covered up by Hansen. And play whistled dead with 4:32 to go in period number one. About the size of this rink, it really favors the teams who are used to it, and you watch a lot of NCAA hockey in your spare time, and you see the effects of that just the same.
Where you may notice a big difference will come the third period, James. And Delaware's got a bit larger roster, which can actually hurt their rhythm right now because guys like to get out on a regular flow, going out every fourth or fifth, whatever it is, that can make it really tough.
But having the familiarity of the large sheet of ice certainly would help. You're able to use your speed. You've got more space to negotiate. You're able to avoid checks with that extra 7.5 feet on each side.
It can make a big difference, yeah.
And you having played and coached for, I'd say, your entire life, yeah?
Yeah, pretty much.
Whereas for me, I've only been on the ice 2 years, so I'm going to defer to you on that all day.
Well, I can remember being on an Olympic rink for the first time. I thought I was on an aircraft carrier.
Here's Hip at the left point. Works it in close to McEwen. Centering pass on the doorstep to Dan was denied. Kept in by Hip, left point. Thrown into the near corner. That's batted around by DeFerris. He's able to take it away behind his own cage from Jake Poling, who was the deep man in with his fourth line out for Philadelphia. Inside the final 4 of the first period. Puck comes back out to neutral ice, lofted in by Jack Zimmer at center, while Nima had to hustle back to the blue line to tag up. As such, possession ceded to Philadelphia, and Justin Brown studies it behind his own cage. Brown and Hip holding down the blue line. Getting a piece of it over center was Alex Burnett. That's enough to negate icing. Foot raised to the puck in to the near corner of the Delaware zone. Tommy Cascone unable to extract it. Got a little help from his friend Mike Redgate up the near side. And that's pushed back into Philadelphia territory, but with inside 200 seconds to go here in the opening period. Possession ceded once again. It's a 1-0 game if you're just joining us. Delaware with the advantage over the Philadelphia Junior Flyers. And my, Bob, this has turned out to be a much better game than either of us anticipated.
Oh, yeah. I've been watching the last couple of possessions by the Junior Flyers breaking out of their net or their end. And I'm watching the defenseman go behind and the Delaware player chasing them behind, and they're coming out and using that as an easy read out.
I mean, they're using the cage as a screen.
Yeah, so Delaware needs to really cut down the middle breakout guy and take that wing and make him make that long pass across so that he can read that, James, and step up on that guy. You can really shut down a lot of those breakouts. But if you go in unsupported like that, chase him around the net, now it basically creates a 5-on-4 because you're stuck behind the net.
Right, you're taking yourself out of the play by doing that.
Correct. Unless you have great support. If you have a guy taking away the middle, then you can force him out of there.
But again, there's the double-edged sword we face on the larger rink. The middle becomes 15 feet wider.
Yes.
Philadelphia pinned in their own zone with 2.5 to go in the first period. Jared Tyson lofts it up over the middle to Ferris. Couldn't bat it down just in front of his blue line. It's chased to the far corner by Jonathan Gabriel, delayed offside. So he avoids contact with Steve Capriotti's arm in the air, and Niski gets things going the other way. This is offside the other direction as Dominic Guido, coming through up the right wing boards, was called back. Niski lost his footing and his timing a little bit there. And with 2:10 to go in the opening period at Fred Rust Arena, the ensuing faceoff will take place just above the Philadelphia blue line, and the Hens are able to re-enter, but Guido can't keep the momentum going. Lost the puck at the half wall. Valdez plays it to Donor back behind. Now up ahead in the middle comes Philippe Balas in a 1-on-2. Desperation shot from 20 feet. Deflected up into the netting. And another stoppage coming to us with 1:52 to go in the opening period. For those of you joining us on DHN TV, you can see that in the lower right-hand corner of your monitor. Face off in the far side of the Delaware zone. Good puck movement. McDevitt feeds to McEwen from the far corner to the mid-slot. His one-timer sailed wide to the near side. Balas through the slot. Donor reaches for it. Unable to protect the zone was Donor. He flips it back to Valdez at his own blue line. Now the Flyers regroup. Here's John McEwen. Level with the right dot. Faced resistance from Zimmer. Good gap control from him. And he was able to swat in at the puck and take it away. Puck ping-pongs across neutral ice as we near the final 75 of the opening period of play. It's dumped in behind the Junior Flyers goal where Andrew Hipp chased in by Mazzella. Was able to find all the space in the world after Mazzella committed to go behind the cage. Didn't we just talk about that, Bob?
James, yeah.
Jandoli right side, shot from the top of the right circle. A bit of a snapper there, sailed over the crossbar and into the glass and behind. Puck is loose, corralled by Michael Chris. 2-on-3 this rush for Philadelphia. Centering pass to Walters. And his lazy backhander is covered up by Chris Ponticello with 43 seconds to go in period number 1.
James, the Flyers' offense isn't starting in the offensive zone. They're starting it down in their own zone.
They're playing all 200 feet. And Justin Brown, Andrew Hipp, and even Riley Donor and Matt Valdez, the top defensive pair, have really done a great job with the breakout and getting the momentum going from deep in their own zone across neutral ice. It's taken them 2-3 seconds, and they're already in position to attack. The downside of that, they're on the wrong side of a lot of wrong way odd man rushes, a lot of 2-on-3s, 2-on-4s, and that's been their stumbling block so far.
When Delaware contests the breakout, they're much better. Like right here, this is going to be a great scoring chance.
Great scoring chance from Tommy Cascone, but foiled by the glove hand of Aaron Hansson with 6 and change to go in this first period.
Too many times in this period, James, Delaware's let them come out uncontested. And you would think that would be an advantage for Delaware, being used to this rink.
One would think, and Philadelphia wins the defensive zone draw in the closing seconds. Martino in traffic, unable to work through, and the opening period has come to its conclusion with Delaware heading to the dressing room up 1-0 over the Philadelphia Junior Flyers. We'll take a break here on Delaware Hockey Night TV and Delaware Hockey Night Radio. 20 minutes gone, and the Blue Hens are up 1-0 over Philadelphia. video it is.
I don't think we can hear it on the video, right? We're not on there.
The sound will still go through. Yeah. No. We're fine.
Before you go,
Yeah.
do
Yeah. EHL Junior Flyers. Some of the key players talk about coming up this season. We can go like 2.5 minutes.
How long has that kid been on the junior flyers?
Well, hopefully they get better before you get the ice. And then we'll talk about that.
All right, what do you got, James? I'm ready.
Here we go. Let's do it. Welcome back in. We are live at Fred Rust Arena, and my oh my, Joe, what a first period. Great hockey. Joe Sindoni from the Junior Flyers of Philadelphia joining me here during the first intermission. That was a treat, that first period. Delaware, of course, up 1-0 through 20 minutes. The lone goal coming from Jake DeFerris at the end of that 2-on-1. A net front feed from Mike Niski to connect at the 7:34 mark. But Philadelphia holding their own.
Yeah, I thought they played really well. First, hello to Junior Flyers Nation, some familiar viewers out there. So hello again. Can't wait to meet everybody. And thanks, James, for having me on with you. Always good to see you. And my first night on Delaware Hockey Night, so it's exciting.
So overdue. Great to have you on board. Hockey hugs all around.
But I think that went pretty well. I got a chance to see them at training camp a couple of times. And I think the team's looking pretty good. They have some solid veterans. They have veterans on both sides of the puck, which is always good to have. Coach Domish, always love to have that as well. You have John McEwen, Shane Ward, and Billy McDevitt. And you mentioned McDevitt and Ward both getting co-captain this year. So
Well deserved. I actually had the pleasure of seeing some Junior Flyers action last season. I'll be back a little bit this season as an off-ice official, and looking forward to it. And talking away from hockey too, they're just a great group of guys.
Yeah, it's always good to have those. And Billy is a third-year guy, so
you don't see that too
much. It happens, but not too much. So he's in his third year, so I'm looking forward for a big year from him. And then on the defensive side of the puck, you have Justin Brown, you have Anton Martino. I think Anton Martino is in for a big year. He started with the Junior Flyers B team last year, and then he came up to the A team in the EHL, and he stayed there ever since. So I'm looking for a big year from him. And then you also have Riley Donor on the defensive side of the puck as well. So you got 3 and 3, which is a nice little split.
And even the new defenseman, Andrew Hipp, being one of the really good at reading the play, as Bob Thomas was talking about during the first period. And so far, I feel like Philadelphia's strength has been the breakout, getting quickly into the Delaware zone, establishing that position. So, defensive zone, neutral zone, they're fine, but what do they need to do from there?
I thought they had a pretty strong. I thought the first 5-6 minutes, I thought they really controlled the game.
I thought so too.
And I know this is Delaware's first preseason game, but this is the Junior Flyers' last preseason game.
This is your fifth, right?
Yes. So, you have that little bit of differential. I think the Junior Flyers are getting used to a little bit more of the breakout patterns and everything just because of the larger sheet of ice. They don't practice. They don't play on an Olympic sheet of ice at all. So I'm sure that threw them off guard for a little bit. But, Coach Domish isn't an excuse kind of guy. It's an accountability all the way. And it's just something they got to deal with. And, it's preseason, but it's a good experience for them. And I thought they looked strong. Delaware came back, nice shot right in between the dots there for the goal. But other than that, I thought the Junior Flyers looked pretty well and they held their own.
Absolutely. I think we're in store for some more good hockey, 40 more minutes of it. Joe Sindoni, thanks for joining us during the first intermission.
Always a pleasure.
Have a great season. You start off on Sunday, right, against Maryland.
On the road against Team Maryland, yes.
And how can hockey fans keep tabs on the Philadelphia Junior Flyers?
Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at EHL Junior Flyers, juniorflyers.com, and
is it .org or .com? I forgot.
.org.
It is .org. Okay.
And then anytime, every game, other than ours tonight here on Delaware Hockey Night, but the rest of the regular season games and potential playoffs will all be on Hockey TV.
HockeyTV.com for that. They've got all of the American juniors, I believe, from the top of the tree to the bottom, and everywhere in between, including the EHL. and we'll talk a little bit more during the second intermission.
Sounds like a plan.
We'll take a quick time out here on DHN Radio and DHN TV. Delaware 1, Philadelphia 0 through 20. Back in a little bit with more from Fred Rust Arena on DHN.
Great jazz.
You ready? Check. Seems like you picked up our mics coming out of the intermission. Bob Thomas and James Witherite joining you here on Delaware Hockey Night Radio and Delaware Hockey Night TV as we're ready to get things going for period number 2. 20 in the books. Delaware with a 1-0 lead over the Philadelphia Junior Flyers. And Bob Thomas, it was a pretty good back and forth flow to get things going. Philadelphia really impressing on the breakout, but running into a strong Delaware defense. And good puck movement from the Blue Hens to get that first goal 7.5 minutes into the first period. It was Jake DeFerris scoring from Mike Niski. Second period has begun. Delaware on the attack to get things rolling here. Gavin Hulser in the far corner, surrounded by white sweaters. Tried to work the puck up the right side to Good. Didn't get good aim on his man. Corbin Gustafson, the Ohio transfer, in net here in the second period for Delaware, handling the goaltending duties on the Philadelphia side here in period number 2. Sean Dynan, wearing number 33, was originally slated to start, but Aaron Hunson took over the starting duties in a game-time decision from coach Jerry Domish. So a minute into the second period, the puck has seen all 200 feet of the Fred Rust ice. It's pinned in the Delaware zone right now, and Hulser is going to try to build up some momentum, gets a few hacks from Ward as he circles behind the cage, chips it off the far boards, works it ahead to Ryan Luppy. First we see of the freshman for Delaware. He dumps it in from over the Blue Hen logo. Enough time for some fresh legs to come on for the Hens. Icing waved off by Steve Capriotti as DeFerris hustles back into his own zone to play the puck out. Now it's carried on by Dom Guido. 3-on-2, this rush cross ice pass to Niski, surrounded at the inside hash mark of the right circle. He was double teamed there, couldn't get a quality shot off, and he turns it over to Philadelphia's Jared Tyson behind the cage. Niski perseveres on the forecheck, can't regain the puck. And the carom shot played behind by Martino to the far side. Comes right back now to Martino, and he's got lots of space to work up the near boards. To carry the puck through neutral ice, he shovels it in from the blue line, diving to avoid a check from Ivan Sidoriak, the freshman for Delaware, holding down the blue line. And here come the Hens back the other way. Niski tries to chase down a loose puck, which rolls to the far corner. He gets there just a half step quicker than Tyson, trying to set up net front Dominic Guido, but he couldn't connect on the welcome mat. And the Junior Flyers not quite able to clear. Crossing over to the right point was Sidoriak to maintain the zone for Delaware.
James, you know, it looks like Delaware made a few changes in that from that first period. It's definitely more of an even period here for Delaware.
Trying to muscle through traffic was Jackson Nee, the first we're seeing of him. But he was double teamed in center point, couldn't get the puck away. Will Zimmer checked into the corner boards near side, battling for the biscuit. It's knocked loose. Ryan Burns couldn't do anything with it from the left dot. It's recovered by Philadelphia's Jacob Tudan behind his own goal. Knocked loose this side, chased down by Nee. Now a 2-on-2 battle develops for the puck. It's extracted by Burns, thrown in toward the cage, but quite a ways wide to the left of it. The extracurriculars continue between McEwen and Will Zimmer. We've got a broken stick, and the puck sails loose to the near point, where Nee hustles to keep it in, marked by Jacob Pollock.
You know, James, like we were saying in the first period, Delaware wasn't contesting that breakout hard, but now they are, and you can see the difference in this period versus the first.
And they're staying up above the goal. Oh, I spoke too soon as Nima pursued a guy behind the cage, but Nima was able to get it away with some help from Brian Ostrander. Stole that lumber laying in the mid-slot. But stepping around was Jake Nima to keep the play going, and Chuma at his own blue line foils a Philadelphia breakout. Here come the Hens back the other direction. Drop pass high slot wrister from Harrison Chuma 40 feet away. Sails over the crossbar into the glass, a pile up for the puck just above the near corner of the Philadelphia zone. It's trapped, and at the center of that battle is Ryan Wagner, surrounded from all sides by orange and white. And now extracting the biscuit, Jared Tyson works it free for Philadelphia. We're just past the 4-minute mark of the second period, and we've got ourselves a stoppage. It was nearly back and forth there.
You know, James, I've always said good things happen when you deny time and space to the opposing team, whether he's the puck carrier or not. And this is what I thought I would see out of Delaware in the first period, and they're doing it now. and they're getting a lot of scoring chances. The defensemen are pinching a little bit, just like there.
I'm sure the discussion in the room during the first intermission had quite a bit to do with the breakout of Philadelphia and what can they do better to foil it, and they've shown it here so far in the second period.
Wouldn't you like to have been a fly on the wall in that discussion, James? I'm sure.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall in just about any of these discussions, especially yours in the room with Salesianum. I know how well you break down tape and how well you analyze the game, and for you to pass along your knowledge of hockey to so many generations of players.
Well, you know, James, I'm always pleasant and cheerful.
At least on air you are.
At least the players, well, they might agree, but I doubt it.
Well, you have Bill Calandra in your corner anyway.
There we go.
Bill, if you're tuning in, great to have you along with us. He's going to actually be playing at Georgetown this season, so
it's great.
We'll see him on DHN too. Number of Salesianum players graduating to the ACHA ranks, and that speaks volumes for the strength of your program.
Well,
2-on-2 back in for Delaware. Sorry to preempt you there. Jake DeFerris lofted it in. Niski couldn't connect on the other end, or rather that was Ethan Docking who was in deep. Puck is loose in the far corner. Now trapped by Philadelphia's Michael Chris. Extracted by Docking. Trying to connect net front was Holzer, but he couldn't put stick on puck right in time. Back the other way comes McDevitt. Jumps to avoid pressure from Luppy. Gains the puck again in the near corner. It's getting a little bit frantic in the Delaware zone. Good puck movement. A shot from the top of the left circle and John McEwen. But that one is held on to by netminder Corbin Gustafson in from Ohio. And with just over 6 minutes elapsed in a scoreless second period, Delaware clings to that 1-0 advantage. Face off to Gustafson's right. It is won by Docking, advanced to Hulster. And Gavin Hulster up the right side, able to gain the zone, stops at the point. Working net front is Luppy. Meanwhile, Philadelphia is able to regain the puck along that far wall. And Justin Brown was unable to clear it to hip. That clearing attempt foiled by Docking, who walked it through the slot. Shot from point blank range denied. Puck is loose and corralled by McDevitt just shy of his own blue line. He carries it across neutral ice, and an offside Philly. Balas will bring play back into neutral territory with 13:28 to go. Here in the second period, that was just a case of gross mistiming on the part of Balas down the right wing boards, Bob.
James, if you watch real careful what Delaware's doing in the Flyer zone right now, they're taking the middle away on the breakout, and they're taking the strong side, and what they're doing, they're pinching their weak side defenseman onto the weak side boards. So you watch that defenseman come from the middle across, and he's taking away that long cross-ice pass. And they've been really successful with that. They're really playing much better below the dots.
And they've been able to keep action along the boards and really negate half of the lanes that Philadelphia has available to them.
That was one of the first good scoring chances in almost 7 minutes for the Junior Flyers.
And there was nearly another one. Martino threw it in from the right point, but Ward's presence on the welcome mat was negated by the stay-at-home defenseman Jay Luce, another freshman here in Delaware Blue, and we've got a stoppage and a penalty at the 7:04 mark of the second period. And Delaware is heading back to the penalty kill.
I think that
Checking
might be
from
on the
behind.
little. I think that might be on the
this is
Junior
going
Flyers.
against Philadelphia. And it looked like it was Alex Burnett who goes in. So the Hens on the power play for the first time, and it starts right now. Good puck movement up the right side, right off the face-off, across to Ferris at the top of the left circle. Up high to Mazzella. Across to Ferris again, left dot. Look shot, negated by the pressure of Shane Ward. Right on the doorstep. And a battle for the puck develops in the far corner.
Great puck movement so far by Delaware. They're in that umbrella power play, which most teams are using nowadays. Just missed.
That was Chris Mazzella with the shot at center point, just missed as you said, and Philadelphia was able to clear. They've got just about half of this penalty taken care of already. Niski back through traffic. Puck poke checked away from him at the left dot for the back checking Riley Donor, and it's cleared out a second time. So the first we're seeing of this Philadelphia penalty kill, and they've impressed so far. Delaware's moved the puck well, but Philadelphia stayed right with them, Bob.
Yeah. Oh, there's another one against Philadelphia.
And I think McDevitt's going to come off for the trip here. It's a hook, in fact. Hooking at 8:21 here in the second period. So Delaware is going to have 44 seconds of a two-man advantage. In to take the draw is Nima. Alongside Nima, Ostrander and Guido holding down the back end. We have Good and Chuma. Good works the left side up ahead to Ostrander, and his re-entry of the Philadelphia zone gets called back offside as we reset the graphics in the right-hand corner of the screen to reflect the 11:19 left here in period number 2. Delaware with a 1-0 lead over Philadelphia, and the re-entry is good this time. Harrison Chuma up the right wing boards. Drop pass back to Guido. Worked in behind the cage to Nima. Guido again to Chuma up high. Thrown in from the point. It bounced off the Philadelphia goalie Sean Dynan, and the follow-up chance was denied. Centering pass from Ostrander. Didn't quite get to Guido. It was batted away by Ward, holding down the low slot area for Philadelphia. 5-on-4 now with 10:40 to go in period 2 of a 1-0 game. Advantage Delaware. But this Philadelphia penalty kill has really withstood the test well, Bob.
When your best player on the kill is your goalie, you're in good shape. He made a couple real nice saves because his positioning was excellent.
He was able to block down angles, and Sean Dynan not only making the initial save, but able to bounce back to make the rebound save twice, 3 times. And that goes a long way, especially at the EHL level and at the ACHA level as well.
Yeah, he stopped a real nice tip.
Was an A chance there for a second goal for Delaware on the doorstep, and Dynan stood tall to make sure it didn't happen.
Squared his shoulders up.
Harrison Good gets the momentum going to DeFerris up the right side. He carries it in just outside the dots. Puck poke checked away from him at the top of the circle by Schuyler Dillon. He winds up to try to clear, but Niski has other ideas right in front of the Philadelphia bench, and he leaves it back to Good. We're past the halfway point of the game. Delaware 1, Philadelphia 0. We're also past the halfway point. I should say we're actually past the end of that second Philadelphia penalty. The Junior Flyers killed them both off, and they don't look any the worse for wear. Puck pinned deep in their zone. It is Michael Chris. Pressured now by the forechecking Will Zimmer. Waiting for the breakout pass was Walters up at the Delaware blue line, but he won't get that pass as Will Zimmer nearly protected the zone right in front of his own bench for Delaware. Mishandled the puck, though, and the Hens were forced back into neutral ice to regroup. Now it's tipped ahead by Jackson Nee up the right side. Puck caroms in behind the goal. Foot race on for it. Ryan Burns couldn't connect on the biscuit. Justin Brown was right there with him every step. Now it's loose in the near corner, thrown in from the right half wall. Gathering it in is Dillon. Back to Brown, played behind his own cage. Now across ice it comes from Walters. Back to Brown, cross ice pass, Walters in a 1-on-1. Drop pass in the slot, Chris taken away from him. And Burns comes away with the puck. He'll carry it up the right side into a 2-on-2. Look, slapper from the top of the right circle. It was wide. Luppy overskated the puck on nearly the rebound chance. It sails back to the right point. Thrown in by Chuma. Follow-up opportunity. Jay loose from the top of the left circle. Scrum net front. And this one is covered up with 8 minutes to go. Bodies swarming in from every which direction. But Sean Dynan has the last word. Delaware will get nothing but an attacking zone face-off out of it. A couple chances there, but hey, how about those Junior Flyers defenders crowding in close to home?
Well,
and giving the Hens a heck of a time.
Mr. Dynan did a good job. From our angle, you could see him looking through the wickets to follow that puck through a maze of people.
Absolutely. He was screened pretty good in there too, Bob.
Yeah. You could see him down his he was looking
Gabriel
like a
waved
tunnel.
out of the draw. This one won by Delaware's Ethan Docking. But Good couldn't put stick on puck at the right point, or the left point, I should say, and here comes Philadelphia back the other direction. 8 minutes to go here in the second period. And a clock malfunction. 8:03 the clock here at Fred Rust Arena has read through that entire exchange. And I thought we were going to have a word on that. Now it runs. Looks like we're going to get 30-some seconds of bonus hockey. Errant icing is determined by the officials, so back to center we came for the face-off according to the ACHA rulebook. One-timer from the left point, Martino. And Philadelphia gets the equalizer. It was Alex Burnett who had the Philadelphia goal, tying this one up at 1. That goal at 12:18. We've got ourselves a brand new hockey game, Bob.
Yep. It was a pair of 14s going at it in front of the net. Philadelphia Junior Flyer won that battle.
Alex Burnett, the 99. Getting the equalizer for Philadelphia. We'll get the assist from Bill Williams as soon as he's able to convey them to us here in the press box. Meanwhile, DeFerris in traffic, carries the puck up the left wing boards back into Philadelphia territory, nearly cleared out. Follow-up chance came from Ivan Sidoriak.
See how Delaware responds.
Indeed, we'll see how Delaware responds. Scrum for the puck in front. Nearly Nima able to tap it in, but he couldn't get a good angle on it right in front of the blue paint. A lucky break there for Philadelphia as the left half of the net was just wide open. And here's a one-on-one for the Junior Flyers. In comes McDevitt, lost the puck in the slot. Ostrander able to catch up with him just enough to break up that advance for nearly the go-ahead. And Donor steadies the puck deep in his own end. Slams it off the near boards. Mistimed the pass to Billy McDevitt. And that will be an icing with 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the second period of a 1-1 contest at Fred Rust Arena.
You know, when the ice is tilted like it has been in Delaware's favor and you don't get anything out of it and then the opposing team comes back and scores, that's a real test.
How is this team gonna regroup?
Well, they just don't change anything. Keep doing what you're doing because you're dominating and, you know, one goal doesn't, you know, you got to just get right back at it. Force the forecheck. Everything was working. You know, one breakdown in front of the net, the guy's not covered tough enough and they pop the puck.
That doesn't make the game.
Right. You don't want to change anything. Not from what I'm seeing now.
And that long chance from Mike Niski at the left point was caught by Dynan like an infielder. And the face-off in the Philadelphia zone goes the way of the Junior Flyers. Puck steadied by Andrew Hipp. The far corner played back behind to Martino. His outlet pass deflected up in the atmosphere by the stick of Guido, and here come the Hens. Loose across across far side, the Chuma at his own blue line, now played out. Niski can't shovel it forward. Still a couple Junior Flyers afore, so Hipp has to circle back and regroup so everybody can get onside. Breakout pass broken up by Mazzella. Cross-ice pass, nearly tipped in net front by Niski, but Dynan again has the final say.
He's been the big difference, James, in this period. Because Delaware was really kind of taking over the forecheck end of it, playing great below the dots, but he shut everything down so far.
So far, so good for Sean Dynan. He's played flawless hockey here in the second period. And we're deadlocked at 1 with just over 5 minutes to go in this second period. Shot from Schuyler, Dillon crossing through the slot. Turned aside by Gustafsson to the far corner. He's not seen a whole heck of a lot of shots here in the second period. And those of you who have listened to Delaware Hockey Night Radio over the last 2 years certainly know the Gustafsson name when he was with the Bobcats of Ohio University in Athens. Shot there from the left point, and Valdez turned aside by Gustafsson. Brunel couldn't carry it out. Back it comes mid-zone Delaware side, and Good plays it up from just in front of the Philadelphia bench across to the near corner where Jackson Nee is met by defensive pressure. He gets the puck off to Will Zimmer. Back it comes to Brunel. Poke checked away from him, and Dillon's got a near breakaway. Dillon met by Harrison Good on the way in, and the net comes off its moorings off that chance. And we'll have a stoppage with 4:26 to go in the second period as Brad Howington resets the net, and play will resume in the Delaware zone.
Good did a great job helping his partner out on that by getting back and cutting that angle.
Good was certainly the difference in that play, coming in at an angle to break up what was nearly a breakaway from the right side at a 45. He got there right time, right place. And I think it was Harrison Good, the sophomore, who keeps this game tied at 1.
Did a great job. I guess it would be terrible to say Good was good on that play.
Oh, we'll do that a lot this season, I'm sure, Bob. 4 minutes to go in the second period of this tie game. McDevitt with a feed mid-slot from McEwen, denied by Gustafsson. McEwen regains the puck near corner, gives it away to Nee. It is cleared out as far as center red plus 10 feet, but right into the hands of defenseman Andrew Hipp. Now to McEwen. He carries it in at the right dots, flips it back to McDevitt waiting at the point. Thrown in from long range, scrambling to make the save was Gustafsson. Follow-up chance on the doorstep, Balas, no dice there. Back the other way for Delaware comes Gavin Hulser, but into rush hour traffic on the Schuylkill Expressway up the right side. Tried to walk it through the slot, but his detour failed too. Back the other direction comes Donor in a 2-on-3 for Philadelphia. McDevitt stays onside, crossing to the far boards was Donor. Looks like he's got the lumber of Sidoriak. They separate. 1-on-1 for Delaware's Gavin Hulser. He tries to walk it in after beating the defenseman, jams it in. He ends up in the cage. Delayed penalty. It will be against Philadelphia as DeFerris winds up from the left point, and Dynan makes the stop.
Dynan's been the difference maker in this period.
He really, really has, Bob.
On that play, you had two Blue Hens wide open in
Junior Blue Hens is next week.
Yeah. You can tell I'm old. So
cross-checking on Philadelphia's Matthew Valdez. And play resumes with just under 3 minutes to go in the period, with Delaware on the power play again, but they haven't been able to do anything with the man advantage. DeFerris working the left side. Up high it goes to Sidoriak. Across to the right dot and Niski. He fanned on the one-timer. Sidoriak again. Cross ice, left dot. Mazzella can't connect from 20 feet away. Rebound off the stick save from Dynan, handled by Gabriel. Puck is trapped behind the Philadelphia cage with 140 seconds to go here in the second period of a 1-1 game. A minute 16 to go on this third Delaware power play. DeFerris, dot to dot. Across to Sidoriak. Fans on the puck. He's able to get it back, though, and feed it on to a pressured Niski in the right corner. Niski unable to handle the puck. It was cleared out by the junior Flyers, namely Anton Martino, who hustles off. New legs on for the men in white. Meanwhile, Nima with a backhander net front couldn't connect. Net knocked off its moorings momentarily. 100 seconds to go in the period. DeFerris holds down the left point. Back across to Sidoriak. DeFerris, Mazzella, one-timer top of the left circle, trickles wide to the right of the cage. Sidoriak keeps it in right point. To Niski. Niski looking for somewhere to go high in the zone. Drop pass to DeFerris at the top of the left circle. Shot just level with the crossbar and tipped up into the glass by Dynan. At the right half wall, Sidoriak keeps it in Delaware control. Minute and 12 to go here in the period, according to the Fred Rust Arena score clock. And as we enter single digits in this Philadelphia penalty, the puck is cleared again, and the junior Flyers are now 3 for 3 on the kill as we enter the last minute of play in the second. Wagner working in toward the net, couldn't connect on the doorstep, and this will be an icing against Philadelphia with 47 seconds to go in the second period. So another chance for Delaware as we near the closing seconds of the period. Nima on to take the draw, flanked by Ostrander and Wagner. Wagner with it on his stick in the high slot, but he was hauled down by Donor. And another stoppage here as Nima just got absolutely pummeled in the near corner. And we'll see what transpires as Justin Brown lumbers off for boarding. So
James.
Back on the power play are the Blue Hens with 39 to go in the period.
Let's see, James, if the trigger men, the guys on the dots, do a better job of getting the shot off. They've got to one-time a lot of those passes. And because if they don't, like right here, that's got to be off. You're going to get the stick up, let it rip.
The big problem, though, too, is Delaware is unable to maintain net front presence for the redirect. The likes of McEwen and Martino doing a great job holding down the fort defensively. And here we've got a breakaway for Philadelphia from McDevitt. Gustafson lunges out of the crease to play the puck. That was a gutsy play, but it worked out for Gustafson. Closing seconds of the period, Niski tries to walk it in from the right side of the 45. He can't connect on the doorstep, and that is the second period. Delaware and Philadelphia tied at 1 through 40 minutes of play. It's time for a coffee break. We'll be back on Delaware Hockey Night Radio and Delaware Hockey Night TV. More Delaware Blue Hens action coming up your way after this intermission. Welcome back into Delaware Hockey Night Radio simulcast on Delaware Hockey Night TV. It's all streaming live through the course of the season at DEHockeyNight.com. Presented to you by the DHN Media Group, your solution for anything media, small business related, under the sun, be it web design, writing, editing, social media management, and more. Let us help you make a great first impression. DHNMediaGroup.com. And be sure to follow Delaware Hockey Night on Facebook and Twitter at DE Hockey Night. Drop us a note. We'd love to hear from you, DEHockeyNight@gmail.com. And right now we're going to hear from Broadway Joe Sindoni after the side he chronicles through the course of the season, the Philadelphia Junior Flyers. Got one back in the second period. It was off the twig of Alex Burnett at the 12:18 mark. The boys came to play, Joe.
Yeah, I thought they fought back really well in that second period. Burnett able to bang one home, and then it got a little bit too sloppy. They visited the penalty box a few times too many, but you know what I've seen from Coach Domish over the years is the penalty kill is always going to be aggressive, and they were able to kill off a two-man disadvantage against them, and then they
that was
put
impressive.
Off another one. Yeah,
and really, I think
always aggressive.
And I think the key to that penalty kill so far for Philadelphia has been that net front presence and just negating the presence of any of the Delaware players trying to post up close to home. And that matchup has really been the key, and Sean Dynan was really the key in the second period, too.
Yeah, some really nice goaltending by Sean there, and a few good saves at both ends of the ice. A few more goals, I think,
Gustafson made a few nice saves,
for
too.
both teams. Could have been a couple more goals on each side for sure. And but we have a good one. We're even up here, and the Junior Flyers have to clean things up a little bit penalty-wise, and they still have a hefty kill to come up here.
And Delaware at the same time has got to come up with some more A-level scoring chances to try to foil the Flyers as we approach the start of the third period. Again, you're at jrflyers.org and all over social media at EHLJRFlyers.
Correct.
And you're in your fifth season with them, or sixth season?
Fifth season for me. It's been a great ride. So Junior Flyer Nation, I'll see you guys real soon.
And I'll be happy to pay the occasional busman's holiday to Iceline through the course of the season.
Yeah, always a good time. There's a couple of those afternoon games we have on the schedule, so little business person special for you.
Absolutely, and always a lot of fun. Great hockey, and the best thing about EHL hockey, it's free to get in.
Also free. Every game is free to come in, so come out to the ice line. The Goal Line Pub is open as well. Come in, catch a drink, get some nice food, and enjoy the game from
get
a nice
lunch
club
and
box
some
seating.
darn good hockey, too, to go with it.
Should be a good time. Very excited for the season to start on Sunday.
And we're certainly excited to get the season started for the University of Delaware team. They kick things off right here at home next weekend, Friday and Saturday both, against Penn State Berks, and we'll have it all for you on Delaware Hockey Night TV and DHN Radio. Head to DEHockeyNight.com to learn more and to tune in on a nightly basis. Again, we are streaming all season in HD via YouTube, and the Junior Flyers will stream. Are you guys HD yet?
HD, of course. Yes.
Awesome. At hockeytv.com. So we've got you covered all the way around. Broadway Joe Sindoni, thanks for joining us here on the intermission. And
as a pleasure. Best of luck to Delaware as they move forward. And
best of
Junior
luck to
Flyers
Philadelphia.
hockey
And
coming up.
we'll see each other again real soon.
Sounds good to me.
We'll take a quick timeout here on DHN Radio and DHN TV. Back with the third period of a ding-dong 1-1 battle through 40 here on DHN. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back into Delaware Hockey Night Radio and also to Delaware Hockey Night TV. We are live from Fred Rust Arena, where through 40 minutes of action, the Delaware Blue Hens and the Philadelphia Junior Flyers are deadlocked at 1 goal apiece. For those of you expecting the University of Delaware Division III game against Kutztown, we'll pick that up in progress on DHN Radio after the Division I game has reached its conclusion. So stick around with us, take in the third period of this game, and we'll join the action at Gold Arena as soon as Blue Hens and Junior Flyers is decided. So we're underway in the third period of a 1-1 game. Delaware controlling the puck in their own zone. They're heading right or left to right here again in the second period as it's worked forward by Redgate to Emmerich. Takes a hip check from Valdez in the near corner. Puck is loose, swarming in around. Kevin Felice keeps it in Delaware control. He's knocked to his feet by Valdez. Felice gets it right back, trying to work his way through traffic at the right dot. Puck poke checked away from him, slammed in by Jack Zimmer. Valdez plays the body, and this will be no icing. Donor tried to get the icing there. It looked pretty intentional. And it wouldn't be icing anyway, because, and thank you, Bob Thomas, for reminding me, the Hens are on a power play. I told you there was rust, Bob.
Hey, I called them the Junior Blue Hens, but it was a combination of the Junior Flyers and UND.
Well, you have to remember, too, Bob, I spent the entire summer officiating mites and squirts and peewees, and you can't ice on the penalty kill there either.
And the speed was a little slower.
Yeah, I could actually keep up. This will be an icing, as the Junior Flyers are back full strength. And as noted by public address announcer Bill Williams, goalie change here to start the third period. Andrew Slabisky getting his first cuts as a Blue Hen, the freshman, wearing number 29, defending the net to our left. And it will be Aiden Boot, the 0-1, handling the goaltending duties for Philadelphia here in the third period. So a pair of young guns in the blue paint. And Philadelphia just got the go-ahead goal. We'll get all the particulars for you momentarily. We can tell you the goal was at 1:48. Maybe Gabriel. We'll confirm with Bill momentarily. So 2 minutes have elapsed here in the third period. Philadelphia just took the lead. Gabriel's got it on his stick again at the near corner. Takes a check behind the cage from Cascone and loses the puck to Nima. Jake Nima carries it up the middle. Tagging up at the right point was Nee. Entry was clean, loose. Had his stick lifted behind the cage. Puck rolls to the bottom of the Philadelphia bench, where it's corralled by Gabriel He tried to leave it behind to Martino. So it indeed was Jonathan Gabriel with the goal assist to Hip and Tyson on the go-ahead for Philadelphia at 1:48. Here's Giandoli with a chance. He tried to get a little too fancy on the welcome mat with it, and that gave Aiden Boot enough time to react and block down the angle.
He actually took all of the angle away for him. He just skated in too close. He was going to let it go right away. Don't let the goalie get set.
Yeah, Giandoli right there wasted way too much time. Tried to get too cute in the low slot, and in doing so got too close and gave up the entire top half of the net, which Boot had wide open. Boot covers this one up, denying Will Zimmer a backhand opportunity. 16:35 to go in period number 3, and Delaware with attacking position, but they're trying to get that second goal back any way they can. Played in from the point, but intercepted by Tyson. Across to Brown, he winds up. McDevitt's able to punch it past from over the center logo into the near corner of the Delaware end. He and Jack Zimmer collide, battling for the puck. And it's cleared out now by the Hens. Giandoli on his horse absorbs a shoulder check from Tyson at the Philadelphia blue line. They're tied up. Tyson had Giandoli's stick. Now he pushes it away with his. Giandoli wants the unsportsmanlike. He's not going to get it. He took a little too much exception to Brent Kendall's silence on the matter, and that probably didn't do him any favors, Bob.
No. As a matter of fact, if he had just turned and got back up the ice,
he probably gets that call.
Maybe. Yeah, it's just, you're not going to win that one.
Absolutely not. 15 and a half to go. Philadelphia 2, Delaware 1. Hens out of their own zone again. Here comes Ethan Docking in a 2-on-1. Give and go with Devin Jenny. And the net's off its moorings. As Boot is pushed back into his own net by a player down. He's a little bit slow to get up, that junior flyer is.
I believe it's McEwen, James.
That is indeed. Or no, that's Billy McDevitt. No, you're right, that is John McEwen. I saw the Mick and the 2 in the 10's place. John McEwen.
You know, he made a great play on that. His back check stopped that 2-on-1. It was like a give-go pass, and he got his stick out there by a hard back check and did a great job and broke the play up. Unfortunately, with intensity came back, he ran into the post. Absolutely,
but like you said, he keeps this one a 2-1 game for his Philadelphia Junior Flyers with 15:21 to go. He's back up on his feet. Got his bell rung pretty good, though, and he'll go have a seat for a while as Gabriel takes his place on the front line. Hens with an attacking zone face-off, won by Docking. Puck is knocked around to the near corner. Balas and Valdez double-team Jenny there, and out comes the Philadelphia side on a 3-on-2. Centering pass to Balas. Bounces off his stick mid-slot. It's taken away by Docking. Docking marked hard by McDevitt in the near corner. Now it turns into a 2-on-2 scrum. Mike Patterson is able to swat the puck away. And here comes Jenny. Was nearly a 1-on-1 up the middle, but Donor pressed him to the far boards. Forced the dump and chase. Good gap control from the Philadelphia defender. And the Junior Flyers are able to regain control of the puck in their own zone with just over 5 minutes gone in the second period. But there's that Delaware forecheck to counter. Tommy Cascone takes it away from Tudan and keeps momentum in the favor of the Hens, at least for a fleeting moment, before Philadelphia can regroup enough to get out of their zone.
Yeah, Delaware needs to get that intensity back like they had at the start of the second period. I've been watching some of their back check was not great. It needs to pick up, and their forecheck needs to get back to what they were doing. It made them so successful and got them a lot of scoring chances.
Icing waved off as Jacob Tudan won the foot race back to the puck. to the Delaware goal line. But as Slobisky covers up, we've got ourselves a stoppage with 14 and change to go. In this third period, Philadelphia up 2-1 over Delaware. And the defensive zone face-off won by Delaware, as a few of the fans in attendance moving and grooving to Earth, Wind, and Fire during the stoppage. Good to see at least a handful of folks out for this preseason game, and we hope to see these stands filled to the brim next Friday as Delaware opens their regular season against Penn State Berks for the first of a 2-game set. Next Friday at 7 o'clock right here at Fred Rust Arena. Shot from John McEwen from the left dot. Sailed wide of the Delaware cage, and it's recovered by the Hens and pressed out of harm's way by Jay Luce. Tickets just $6 available at the door. Full schedule, udelhockey.com. If you can't make it to Fred Rust Arena, we'll have it all for you from beginning to end of the season at Delaware Hockey Night TV and DHN Radio, dehockeynight.com to learn more. 13-13 to go in regulation, and we've got ourselves a stoppage with a puck out of play in the Philadelphia zone. And as it was off of Delaware's stick, this one comes back into neutral ice. Steve Capriotti recovers the puck, returns it to his fellow linesman Brad Howington, and on we go. Hens re-enter the zone. Jackson Nee couldn't carry it up the middle. Nima checked off his feet well away from the play. Meanwhile, Ward gets it to Valdez. Across behind the cage to Riley Donor. He's got lots of space up the right and an accelerating Ward to headman the puck to. Here he comes, angled to outside the left line of dots by Jack Zimmer at the top of the near circle. And out comes Burns for the Hens in a 3-on-2. Headman to Nima, mishandled it just shy of the blue line. Burns had to tag back up, so too did Nee. Here's Zimmer on the re-entry, Jack Zimmer with the centering pass. Nima on the doorstep, couldn't put back the rebound to the Nee chance from point-blank range, but he gets it right back, Jake Nima does. He is tackled at the near boards. He and Donor tied up, and this one's not looking all that pretty as Donor gives Nima an extra little shove, and the former Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knight voices his mind on the matter to Brent Kendall. Philadelphia caught in the midst of a line change with just over 12 minutes to go here in the contest. 12:10 according to the clock. To our right at Fred Rust Arena, delayed penalty against Delaware coming up as Chris plays the puck out of his zone. This one will be ruled back and icing as it sails wide of the Delaware cage with 11 and change, 11:58 to go here in the third period. Checking from behind, ruled against Ryan Luppy of Delaware at 8:02. So the junior Flyers will try to pad their 2-1 lead here on the power play. McEwen, McDevitt, and Balas on up front. Hip and Martino holding down the blue line, and we've got a stoppage just 6 seconds in to this man advantage for Philadelphia. Another face-off in the left circle. Hulser lining up across from McEwen. Puck thrown in by McDevitt from the left point. Cleared back out. Here's a breakaway for Devin Jenny. On his horse, hacked at viciously by McDevitt, but it was stick on stick, so Johnny Poling says all's fair in love and hockey. Hip under heavy forechecking pressure from Hulser. Couldn't get the puck away, but he leaves it behind to Anton Martino. Played up the right wing boards to McEwen on further. Pass to McDevitt, intercepted by Jay Luce and an offside Gavin Hulser. Brings play to a halt with 11:13 to go in regulation, and Philadelphia still with a 2-1 lead. The neutral zone face-off just in front of the Philadelphia bench, won by the visiting Junior Flyers. Riley Donor retreats behind his own cage to McEwen. Now it comes out to Valdez left side. Cross-ice pass right along the center stripe. Batted back by McEwen into his own zone to Donor. Donor and Valdez holding down the back end of the power play right now as McEwen launches it cross-ice off the near boards. Valdez chips it in midway to the Delaware zone before it's lofted out by Tommy Cascone. That'll kill some time off the penalty. 10.5 minutes to go here in regulation. And Delaware wreaking havoc on this Philadelphia power play, Bob.
Yeah, they've been doing a good job. I noticed, earlier in this period, guys like Valdez for the Flyers started picking up the hitting, and I think it started frustrating Delaware a little bit, and that's where that penalty came from. Delaware's just got to set back into their, like I said, like what they were doing in the second period, the beginning, pressuring, a little bit more hate. They have an extra line or so than the Flyers. They've got to take advantage of that. They got to have fresher legs. So you need to really ramp it up.
But you have to remember too, Bob, this Delaware team, this Delaware Division I team, last season anyway, seemed to get pretty easily rankled in late penalty trouble. Cost them a number of close games.
That can really break the rhythm, James.
Absolutely. So we'll see if Todd Mittelmeyer can calm the troops down a little bit here this season as they prepare for their opener against Penn State Berks next Friday. And Bob, we hope to have you along with us for as much of the ride as possible.
I will be glad to be here, James. It'll be a blast.
It certainly has been a blast for me these past few games, and looking forward to spending a whole season with you. Strong forecheck from Colin Emmerich broke up the chance from Gabriel to clear the Philadelphia zone. Good puck movement up high, thrown in by Jack Zimmer from the top of the left circle. And this one is caught by Aiden Boot and held on to with 9:33 to go in the third period of a 2-1 game, advantage Philadelphia.
It's funny because in the first period, the Flyers had the better chances and they were down 1-0. Second period, it reversed and Delaware ended up giving the only goal. So right now, it's a flip of a coin.
Philadelphia still with a 1-goal lead, and pressure from Walters was able to draw Brunel out into neutral ice. The Delaware Blue Hens forced to hurry up through the neutral zone to get momentum going again. Shyler Dillon turns up the afterburners on the forecheck, and Jack Zimmer, forced even farther back in his own zone by Colby Walters, now gets one off. It bounces off the stick of Mike Redgate just above the Philadelphia blue line before the Junior Flyers were able to turn the momentum back the other direction. 8:50 to go. Delaware with a 2-on-2 rush. Up the right side comes Kevin Felice, one of the veterans on the team. Tried to drop it back just above the right dot to Colin Emmerich, who mishandled the puck, and Colby Walters is able to bring it back the other direction for the Junior Flyers, but he's stood up at the Blue Hens blue line. Felice back the other way, dumps it in from center red near side. A few fresh legs on for the Delaware side. Meanwhile, Jonathan Gabriel bobs and weaves through traffic to regain the offensive zone for the Junior Flyers. He's double-teamed in the far corner, trying to center it to Polig, who came in from trailing the play, and back come the Hens the other way. But the cross-ice pass to Burns, interrupted by Valdez. It's getting a little chippy in here, Bob Thomas, with 8 minutes to go.
Well, the mistakes you're seeing, James, this is what you expect early in the season.
Valdez and Burns at it again. And Ryan Burns either face-washed or punched Valdez right in the gourd. I'm not sure which. But Ryan Burns is going to take a seat probably for a good long while after that.
Valdez has been really effective in this last period of getting under the skin of the Delaware players.
And it's going to be Polig who comes off too. We're going to be 4-on-4. We can only assume roughing both ways. And it's worth noting, too, thank you, Broadway Joe Sindoni, that Delaware's Christian Brunel, wearing number 14 on defense, was a Philadelphia Junior Flyer last season. False start on the faceoff to the left of Philadelphia goaltender Aiden Boot. We are 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes of hockey. Loose at the top of the left circle, throws one into a congested slot. It was turned away by Boot, recovered by Martino. He winds up, connects with Billy McDevitt, who got tied up along the far boards of neutral ice, but he was able to track down the puck. McDevitt circles behind the cage, tried to set up Martino for a one-timer at the top of the right circle, but he failed on that. Hulser chips it ahead, sets up a 2-on-2. Off his backhand, Hulser checked off his feet, gave the puck away to Billy McDevitt. It ends up trailing back into the Delaware zone, where Cascone circles back to recover it. Philadelphia 2, Delaware 1. 7 minutes to go. A minute 14 left of 4-on-4 action. Hulser through the slot. Tried to set up Ethan Docking on the centering pass, but Shane Ward was able to get some lumber on the biscuit and break up that opportunity. Hip. Under forechecking pressure, can't get it away. Lunging and diving to keep it in at the left point, Jay Luce protected the zone for Delaware, but gave up possession to Riley Donor. Donor and his Junior Flyers with the comfort of a 2-1 lead with 6.5 minutes to go in regulation. Takes his time, and now the breakout materializes with Gabriel. Hauled down up the left side by Luppy, pinned to the corner boards. Deep in the Delaware zone. Gabriel trying to work his way through traffic, but he lost the puck to Ryan Luppy, the freshman, who accelerates along the right wing boards to regain offensive territory for Delaware. Cross ice pass to Jack Zimmer, broken up. Donor, hassled in the far corner of his own zone, is able to clear it ahead to Colby Walters. Walters, though, skates into a 1-on-4 with Philadelphia caught in the midst of a line change. Walters absorbs a hard check behind the Delaware goal, and it's played out by Luppy from there. Ahead to a double team, Devin Jenny just above the Philadelphia blue line. He was forced to dump it in. Good opportunity for a Delaware line change. Meanwhile, Jenny stick handles. Now the reinforcements come in. He sends it back to Zimmer at the top of the right circle, but he couldn't connect from 45 feet away. 5.5 to go in this 2-1 hockey game. Advantage Philadelphia, and there Andrew Hipp is able to backhand the puck out of harm's way. I'm going to breathe. Bob, what are you seeing?
Well, you know, like I was saying, a lot of the mistakes you're seeing are just early season timing mistakes. This is a game of milliseconds, and if you're that little bit slow, then the play goes awry, you know, and that's what you're seeing. Like these little plays here, they'll all get ironed out over the course of a few more weeks or so.
On both sides, too.
Yes, yes.
And it's not like football where it's set play against set play. So much of the flow of hockey is just that general sense of awareness and being able to adapt on the fly.
You got it, James.
2-on-1 just there from Philadelphia, but John McEwen at the left dot was denied by an Andrew Slobisky pad save, and Slobisky's going to cover this one up with 4 minutes and 32 seconds to go in the third period. And Philadelphia with a 2-1 lead, and they'll have an attacking zone face-off too.
You know, Delaware's getting to that point where they're going to have to start pinching in that fourth defenseman, or the fourth player, which is the defenseman. We'll see how that goes here.
So basically the opposite of the left wing lock that Salesianum ran for much of last season, right?
You just have to be a smart defenseman and know when to jump into play and when to sit back. You just can't automatically say, I'm going to go now. You've got to wait and see what the numbers are. Yeah, you need the numbers.
2-on-2 for Delaware, gaining the offensive zone up the left side was Redgate, crashing the net. Will Zimmer got to the doorstep, but there was no vulcanized rubber waiting for him at the welcome mat. Now it's cleared out by Balas, and play is whistled to a halt with 3 minutes and 52 seconds to go in the contest, and icing against the Junior Flyers will give Delaware the chance for the equalizer. In for the draw comes Luppy. Fed it to Luce at the top of the left circle. Could not connect on the one-timer. Back to Cascone it comes. Thrown into the netting from up high. And another stoppage is upon us with 3:42 to go in regulation.
Delaware with a couple good scoring chances right there. The face-off was one clean. It just was up on an edge, rolling, so it made it tough for the D to put it right on the net from that draw.
Scrum over the dot off the ensuing face-off, kept in by the Blue Hens, and Jay Luce crossing over to the right point from the left side. Battle for the puck behind Hulser, checked off his feet, and sweeping in Gabriel takes it away. Ahead to Ward, heading up a 2-on-2 for Philadelphia. But his line mate, Alex Burnett, was about 2 feet offside, and that'll bring things back into the neutral zone with 3:24 to go in regulation, and Delaware with the comfort of a 2-1 lead.
Delaware's got to go. And they got 3:24 and got to get something going here.
2-on-2. Jandoli may be offside. No, he was just barely on at skate contact. Meanwhile, Hulser manhandled in the far corner by Martino. Couldn't maintain control of the biscuit. And Philadelphia will emerge with possession and control again. Walters played it ahead to Schuyler Dillon through neutral ice. Bounced off his stick and deep into Delaware territory. Bodies fly every which direction as we enter the antepenultimate minute of this lone preseason contest for the Delaware Division I team. As bodies continue to pile up in the near corner, and as Cascone extracts the puck and works it ahead to Hulser, we'll remind you that we're back on Friday. This Division I team taking on Penn State Berks in their first of 2 meetings next weekend here at Fred Rust Arena. Game time 7 o'clock. We'll be on the airwaves of Delaware Hockey Night Radio and Delaware Hockey Night TV, new this season, at 6:45 p.m. And at the conclusion of this game, coverage will shift entirely to Delaware Hockey Night Radio, where the Division III Blue Hens take on Kutztown in the first ever game contested under the banner of the brand new Collegiate Hockey Federation. Exciting times and history in the making over at Gold Arena. Full broadcast schedule is available at dehockeynight.com. Down to the final 2 minutes of the game. Philadelphia 2, Delaware 1. Play pinned in the Philadelphia zone, kept in at the left point plus a few feet by former junior flyer Christian Brunel. McDevitt corrals a loose puck, but he's met in the far corner by the aforementioned Brunel, former teammates. Clearing attempt foiled by Jack Zimmer, rang it off the post, and it bounces into the netting and out of play. My, oh my, nearly the equalizer. It's not only a game of milliseconds, but a game of millimeters too, Bob.
It was close. You know, I was waiting to see when Delaware was going to pull the goalie, and he was kind of yo-yoing back and forth, waiting for the coach to give him the sign. We're down to 1:33, and with the draw, I'm sure he's going to be on the bench at the start of this.
Absolutely. Todd Biddlemeyer taking his time out for the Delaware side. We'll take this moment to remind you Delaware Hockey Night is brought to you by the DHN Media Group. A new era. A trusted voice, a fresh vision, a higher standard. All your small business solutions under one roof, from web design to writing and editing, social media consultation, and so much more. Multimedia event production. Visit dhnmediagroup.com to learn more about what they can do for you. So the Delaware timeout breaks up. The extra attacker is on. Let's see who we've got. Stocking, Redgate, Emmerich. In to take the draw is Kevin Felice. Sidoriak and Zimmer holding back at the blue line. Those are the 6 on for Delaware with an empty net 170 feet behind them. Docking to Ivan Sidoriak. at the top of the right circle, threw one off the pads of Boot.
Waving
No
off.
goal! It's waved off by Johnny Poling as the net was off its moorings with a minute and 20 seconds to go. So the net off its moorings takes precedence over the net front scrum. Could have been a crease violation too if we wanted to get ticky-tacky about it.
Yep.
And I think that's going to be the ruling here. It is a crease violation. No. Brad Howington's lining up for the face-off outside the blue line. John Poling says no, it's inside. So the spirit of the law outweighs the letter. Jerry Domish not pleased with Johnny Poling's assessment. The Delaware is able to control the attacking zone faceoff. Emmerich tried to set up Felice, who fanned on the one-timer from mid-slot. Docking gets the rebound. Sidoriak throws one in from right on the welcome mat, and Aiden Boot stops him with a minute and 2 seconds to go. The last two periods have really been dictated by the goaltending for Philadelphia, Bob.
All these goalies have been good tonight. You know, it's been a real tough battle. It's early season. You know, guys are still a little out of position. It makes the goalie work a little harder. Delaware's had some great pressure right here.
For sure they have. And you know what? We've had an absolute treat of a hockey game here tonight, Bob.
Absolutely. I think Mr. Boot's going to have to come up with at least one more big save here, James. Just a guess, but the way Delaware's been pressuring, the way they've been moving it, they need a big win on the draw here, though.
That's certainly going to be key for them with 44.6 seconds to go in the game. Emmerich, net front, tried to work it to Docking. Felice at the bottom of a scrum in front of the net. Sidoriak works it behind the cage to Redgate at the far corner. Up high to Jack Zimmer. Given up to Anton Martino. All the space in the world for McEwen. He can't connect from the right half wall on the empty net. Sidoriak comes up with it again. 20 seconds to go. Here comes Docking up the left wing boards, trying to pinch through an opening. He does, but he loses the puck behind the cage. To McDevitt it goes. And with 10.7 seconds remaining in regulation, we've got ourselves a stoppage.
Looked like the net was off the mooring again, James, and it looks like they're saying it was a Delaware play that took it off.
Net off again, and as you mentioned, this one does come outside the Philadelphia blue line with 10.7 seconds to go, and the Junior Flyers trying to hang on for just that long to ice a 2-1 win over Delaware. And it looks like that's what's going to happen. No, one more chance for Delaware after Sidoriak unloaded at the right point. And Aiden Boot made the clean catch with 2.3 seconds to go.
James, this is one of those tweener seconds. It's 2.3, so does he draw it back and get the one-timer or push it forward? He's going to push it forward. Oh, a big save.
Tried to push it forward. A big save, as you mentioned, by Aiden Boot. And that, friends, is how it wraps up the Delaware Blue Hens. Valiant in defeat, but it was the Philadelphia Junior Flyers off Jonathan Gabriel's go-ahead goal at 1:48 in the third period to win this preseason matchup by a tally of 2-1. To those of you who joined us via Delaware Hockey Night TV, thank you so much for your company here this evening. For those of you tuning in on Delaware Hockey Night Radio, action shifts to Gold Arena just across the way here on the campus of the University of Delaware, where the Division III Blue Hens are currently taking on Kutztown. We'll pick up that game for you in progress in just a few minutes. For the entire Delaware Hockey Night crew, for Broadway Joe Sindoni, holding down the fort behind the scenes this evening and joining us on the intermissions And for the other half of this May-December bromance on the airwaves, Bob Thomas, this is James Witherite thanking you so much for spending part of your Friday night with us. We'll do it all again next Friday as the Blue Hens open their 2019-20 stand against Penn State Berks. All the fun starts at 6:45, both on Delaware Hockey Night Radio and Delaware Hockey Night TV. For those of you joining us on Delaware Hockey Night TV, we'll see you again next week. For those of you on Delaware Hockey Night Radio, Division III action, Delaware Kutztown, will be up next.